quickly before everyone needs to ask. Maddie Wise is being evaluated by the doctor today, and we'll see. But I would say in NFL parlance, she's doubtful for tomorrow, obviously. So as soon as we know, we won't know anything until tonight. So, but that's where she is. She hasn't done anything at all to even warrant thinking she would play tomorrow. So just so you know what's going on there.
Kind of the stories are legendary about Bridget when she would have a tough game, just getting back into the gym and just kind of that motivating her. Did you see that kind of from Ashley after last year's game against Iowa?
Yeah, I mean, Ash is, she's one of those players that us more mature in age coaches call old school baller. The kid just loves to play, loves to practice, shows up every day. And after last year, obviously, that's a tough way for the game to end, and you're playing in your hometown and everything. But she has an amazing ability for a young player to not get too focused on what happened. She's very good about moving on, and she's moved on great. She had a great freshman year. She's off to a really, really good start this year. So I know she'll be ready to go. And like I said, the way she practices will allow her to continue to develop, and I think that's a tribute to the kind of player and person she is.
How did you know that she had moved on pretty quickly from that game? Because especially a lot of freshmen would let something like that linger. I mean, did you see her at the gym that night or the next day?
The next day, when I didn't see her that night when we got back, but the next day she was in there early, and it's hard to describe, but she moves on quickly. She does not dwell on what's good or bad. She doesn't make excuses. She knows when she plays well, when she doesn't play well, and she goes back to work. And it's a very business-like approach, unlike she didn't. Most kids blow it off like, it's a game, we lost, who cares? She didn't do that, but she did come back and say, hey, it's time to go, and she knew what she needed to do. And again, I don't know what number game that was. It was probably 6, 7, 8 of your freshman year in college. So I think after that, it showed what she was capable of doing, because she definitely moved on and had a really, really, really good year.
The 20-8 Kristen had against Alabama, excuse me, is that the type of production you can hope/expect from her against high major competition?
Hope for sure. Expect, I don't know exactly, but she's capable. She really is. She's very skilled. She's a hard kid to guard. You're not a preseason first-team All-Big 12 pick by the other coaches in your league unless they think you're good. Obviously, with Kristen, it's trying to keep her healthy, trying to get her back into the flow of what she missed. But her skill set will allow her to be in those situations where she can shoot the three, she can shoot free throws, she can post up. We got to get her to offensive rebound a little more, and I think some of that will come when she feels more comfortable physically. I think she's kind of not really excited about getting into contact quite as much as she did before. But I think when you have a skill set like hers, it allows you to find different ways to score. It's not just make threes, just post up. And I think that's going to allow her to, depending on the matchups that we face, allow her to have some nights that are pretty good.
How much has, I guess, the choppiness of her, even going back to the summer of inavailability, hampered her, made it harder to get into the swing of things?
I think it's hurt her. I think it's hurt her because she's someone that comes back fairly quickly from a skill standpoint, because, she's got a great stroke. She understands the game. She knows how we play. I think for her confidence level to not practice and do those kinds of things, it has hurt, because it wasn't just in October. It happened throughout the summer. Injuries happen to a lot of people. We're fortunate it's not worse than it was. But I think for her, going from important role player as a sophomore to maybe the best player on your team and one of the best players, and be that kind of all Big 12 caliber player, to not be able to practice and get the work in with your teammates, considering what we lost, that did hurt her, and it's hurt our team. But hopefully those days are behind us and we can move forward.
This may be a question for her, but when it comes to a back injury, that's almost something you can't predict or feel like you can maybe avoid? It's just going to hit you or it's not. Is that specifically psychologically tougher than maybe if it's a rolled ankle or a strained knee or something?
I think it's a lot harder because you just don't know. I mean, I think anytime you get into a position that you're uncomfortable, it kind of, like when the kid fell on her the other day, you know, obviously you're scared and you're right. I mean, I roll my ankle, I'm out a week. I do something, I'm out, whatever. This is one of those things that it's just, you don't know when it's coming. And so do you not worry about it and just play, or do you subconsciously keep yourself out of positions? And for her, it's been reaching back for a rebound or, you know, things that you can't avoid as a basketball player. And I do feel for her in that regard, but her treatment's been good. And I think she's in a good place mentally. I think she struggled for a while, you know, leading up to the Drake game and beyond that, those next 3 or 4 weeks, she wasn't probably in the right mindset. I think she's okay now. She played 38 minutes against Alabama. She was really sore afterwards, but I think that gave her a little confidence that she can play extended minutes in a tough situation.
Last season, Ashley Jones was more of your second option, spot-up shooter type of player. How have you seen her adapt to the leading scorer role, attacking the basket and finishing around the rim, and some of those mid-range shots that she's taken this season?
No, I mean, you know, what you hope for is that's what all your players do. You know, as a freshman, they do certain things that they're comfortable with, and then you progress as a player and as a person, as a student. That's part of the college experience. And I think for Ash, at the end of the year, we told her, you've got to do things at another level. And you know, she's like, yeah, okay, fine, you know, whatever. But scoring at every level, getting to the free throw line, offensive, all those things that we lost with Bridget, that we lost with Lex, that we lost with Mare, we needed someone else to come and do that. And I think, you know, her versatility, she's not Bridget. I'm not going to say that, but we're trying to play her in a similar style, I guess would be a way to put it, that we're using with Bridget and allowing her to do some things. And I think obviously she's off to a really good start, and hopefully that'll continue.
You talk about in rivalry games and big games last season how unsuspecting players can become heroes in these games. Do you expect that to be the story this year too?
You know, that's kind of the way these games have gone. Someone hits a shot. I mean, I've been here long enough. John Neal probably still is talked about as the shot he hit against the Iowa men of I don't know how many years ago, but that's what makes these things fun. You know, it's like the NCAA tournament or rivalry games. Everyone's got a scouting report, and you know, we focus on 3 or 4 players. They focus on 3 or 4 players. But who's the person that's going to make a play, make a shot that changes the game? And those are things that are fun, and they last a long time. And coaches always talk about, you know, you play – this game lasts 40 minutes, but for some of us who've been involved in it, there's players that talk about it for their whole life because of what happened in this game, because people notice. It's one of those games that, you know, even if you're not an Iowa State women's basketball fan, you're an Iowa State fan. So you want us to beat the other team. But that makes it fun, and it's fun to be a part of it, and it's fun that it's Wednesday, Thursday, and swimming on Friday, and it's become a great thing for our state, and hopefully it's a great way to showcase not just our programs. This state has 4 really good Division I women's basketball programs, and it's not just a way to showcase our program, but we don't get a lot of national televised games, to be honest. So we get one tomorrow. It's a great way to show what Iowa State's about, what Ames is about, and hopefully it'll be a fun night.
And Nez has really grown from last season to this year. Is this what you expected her to do with this extra year of eligibility, or has she kind of outgrown your expectations?
You know, I think Nez is probably playing better than we thought. I mean, you look at where she was last year, and I think she played 8 minutes a game. And, you know, I mean, she had a couple, you know, Miami in the preseason NIT thing. But the kids worked really, really hard. She loves college. She loves being a part of what this experience is about. The journey she's on is, if not the most unique journey of any player I've ever had, it'd be right there. And one of the things that we've talked about with Inez and she's bought into in the whole collegiate experience is take advantage of the advantages that you have. And, you know, for her to come and be a part of this team, we needed her to do some things. obviously the opportunity came even greater with, with Maddie being hurt, and Kristen being hurt. But, she's a great kid. And if you watch us practice, there is no one that her teammates root for more than her. When she does something well, the whole place goes crazy because they love her as a teammate. They love the journey she's been on. They root for her hard. I think our fans are the exact same way. So really proud of what she's done. And when you're a senior at Iowa State, that's a special, special thing. It really is. And even though you're a second-year senior, you're still a senior, and you have an ability and an obligation to do certain things. And that is something we've taken great pride in here, and she's certainly doing that.
What type of challenge does Iowa bring to your team?
I think every year with Iowa, they're very hard to guard. They're extremely efficient. Their assist-to-turnover ratio, I think the other night they had 30 field goals and 28 assists. You start two fourth-year senior guards. You start a fourth-year redshirt junior. You start a senior at the 4. So experience-wise, that's a huge thing. They always have a great post player. They have another one. I didn't know that, they lose Megan Gustafson, which was a huge loss, player of the year. And now Cisnado comes in, and she's only shooting 75% from the field. So they're smart defensively. They're playing some more. They're probably mixing up their defenses a little bit more. They play triangle and 2, which they haven't done a ton, but they're going to be very motivated. Kathleen Doyle and Meyer are really good players that have had a lot of wins at Iowa. So the experience level for them, I don't think they're going to be overwhelmed by the environment here. So I think that's number one. And then, we got to make sure we chase them off the 3-point line, and all the little things. Don't commit silly fouls, but just manage what we can offensively, and hopefully have a little more balance than we've had in the past.
What advantages do you feel like your team has in that matchup?
Hilton. Hopefully for some magic. Other than that, I don't know we have any advantages, but hopefully Hilton does have a little magic in it tomorrow night. We might need it. Thank you, everyone.